I'm a 67-year and 8-month-old retiree, and I just reached which to me is a remarkable achievement, because last year I was obese, weak, and unhealthy. And I had a health scare in which I was driving down a highway where I almost passed out behind the wheel. And I recovered from it, but I was so shook up by it that I was desperate to find a way to regain my good health and to overcome obesity. So I went home and I watched a Netflix health documentary called The Game Changers, which advocates switching to a plant-based diet to improve health and athletic performance. And I was so desperate that, I gave it a try. And after 2 weeks, I lost so much weight, I switched to a plant-based diet permanently. And since February 15th of 2023, I've eaten no meat, dairy products, or eggs whatsoever. And I lost 54 pounds in about 8 months through the plant-based diet, and also exercising every other day. And by reading about various different exercises and strength training methods. Because to me, exercise is just a means to an end. It helped me to overcome obesity and to regain my good health and to achieve muscular endurance, size, and strength. And that's what I'm about. I'm about overcoming obesity, regaining good health, and achieving muscular endurance, size, and strength. But after doing this, today I found out that I have dropped from my all-time high of 236.8 pounds, and I now weigh 175.8 pounds. Which means I've lost 61 pounds of excess body weight since switching to a plant-based diet, exercising, and pursuing my goal of learning as much as I can about strength training methods and exercise and the best home gym equipment. And I actually own 4 home gyms, because my approach is that I'm a former boxer and a former martial artist. And my fighting philosophy was to overwhelm my opponent. So if my opponent throws 2 or 3 punches at me, I'm throwing 5 or 6 punches back at him. And I throw combinations as many as 8 or 9 punches in a single combination. And the idea is to overload my opponent's defense, to break through so I can take him out. Well, I took the same approach when it came to creating home gym equipment, is that I wanted to overwhelm my obesity problem. So I actually created 4 home gyms: a garage gym, a basement gym, an extension room gym, and a backyard patio gym. And many people might think that's being obsessive, and perhaps it is. But all I know and all I cared about is that it worked. It gave me the results I wanted, because I did lose 61 pounds of excess body weight, even though I got gym equipment in every room of my house, which includes my bathroom. Because I can work out anywhere I go. Everywhere I turn, I can pick up a piece of gym equipment and start exercising. And as long as is effective, and as long as it helped me to overcome obesity and improve my health, extend my lifespan, that's the only thing that matters to me. I don't care what people think. I mean, what good would people think when I'm dead? And I don't know how much money you would spend for an extra year of life, or 5 years of life, 10 years of life, 20 years of life, or whatever. but I'm going to spend whatever is necessary. And if anything, I'm going to overspend. So today I reached a remarkable milestone of losing 61 pounds of excess body weight. And my plan has exceeded my wildest expectations, because I was hoping to get down to 185 pounds. And now I'm at 175.8 pounds. But that's not what this video is all about. In my quest to find a way to overcome obesity and find the best home gym equipment and the best strength training methods, I turn to YouTube like many of you do, to research, to find out other people's ideas. And I watch a lot of YouTube influencers, and they recommend the latest and greatest adjustable dumbbells, or the latest and greatest functional trainer or power rack, or whatever the newest exercise equipment is being shielded. And it costs me to think. I think there's a lot of Americans out there who don't realize that before they buy any gym equipment, they should select a strength training method. Because to buy gym equipment before you know how you're going to pursue strength training is putting the proverbial cart before the horse. And because there are many different strength training methods. For instance, if you follow the strength training method of Pavel Tsatsouline, who made kettlebell training popular in America, in his book Power to the People, what he suggests is to buy a 300-pound Olympic barbell set and to use the Olympic bar to do single arm presses, and then to use the weight and the bar to do deadlifts. And according to Pavel, that's all you need. You'll get a total body workout that way. If you follow the strength training method of Jonathan Sullivan and Andy Baker in the Barbell Prescription, then you're going to need a little bit more. You're going to need the barbell set, plus you're going to need a power rack, and a plyo box, and a band, and a deadlift platform. And that's it, because the goal is to do deadlifts, bench presses, and squats. But the amount of equipment that you need is much less than the exercise equipment manufacturers would have you to believe. And this is a book called Weightlifting, Olympic Style, by Tommy Kono, who is the America's greatest weightlifter of all time. Won 2 gold medals at the Olympics and a silver medal, and set many world, Pan American, and national records. And he was also a 4-time Mr. Universe winner. And his home gym was relatively modest. I mean, he had DIY, dual-purpose squat stands and jerk blocks. Tommy Kono's many athletic accomplishments proves that you don't need that much gym equipment to be incredibly strong. And there are strength training methods like calisthenics and gymnastics where the cost per gym equipment is relatively inexpensive. And there's one which is called the Charles Atlas Dynamic Tension Strength Training Method, which a lot of the old timers probably know about because they used to advertise in the back of comic books, magazines. It's still being sold today, and it requires no gym equipment. And you're just pitting one group of muscles against another. And I actually bought that course, and I have it. I'm thinking about doing a video series on it because it's effective. It actually works. But the purpose of this video is to talk about the gym equipment that Louie Simmons of Westside Barbell, who club member has established many world records in powerlifting. And Louie Simmons was like the Bruce Lee of powerlifting. Bruce Lee created a conjugate style of martial arts called Jeet Kune Do. And what I mean by conjugate, I mean eclectic, a mix, a combination of different techniques and methods. And that's what Louie Simmons did. Louie Simmons took the Soviet weightlifting training methods and applied them to powerlifting. And he borrowed heavily from Vladimir Zasiorski, whose maximal effort method of lifting as much weight or exerting as much force as you possibly can. Zasiorski repeated effort method, which is lifting non-maximal weights or exerting non-maximal force to failure, which includes the submaximal effort method, which is lifting non-maximal weight or exerting non-maximal force for intermediate or high repetitions, and Zasiorski's dynamic effort method, which is lifting non-maximal weight as fast as you can. But he also included the Bulgarian weightlifting training methods, which is essentially about doing frequent, high-intensity lifting many times per day, up to 6 days per week. And of course, Louie Simmons also added other training methods, including his own ideas. But Louie Simmons was a genius. I mean, he recognized that what is important is not any specific training method, but what works. And that the common sense thing to do is to take the best and most effective techniques and marry them and create a conjugate style of strength training. And that's exactly what he did. I highly recommend you to purchase Louie Simmons' Westside Barbell Book of Methods. And from page 213 to page 217, Louie Simmons lists the gym equipment he believes that every hardcore powerlifting gym should have. And Louie Simmons said something very interesting to me as a former boxer and martial artist. Louie said, "A lifter needs many weapons in his arsenal to increase his lifts as well as to prevent boredom." And he stated that on page 217 of his book, Westside Barbell Book of Methods. And I think that's the perfect analogy. A lifter needs many weapons, because if you're trying to overcome a plateau, which is caused by muscular accommodation, and muscular accommodation occurs is when you keep doing the same exercises and the same training routine and the same training method over and over and over again, and expecting a different result than what you're getting, which is no or slow progress and no increase in muscular size, endurance, and strength. If what you're doing is not working, then it should be obvious to you that you need to find another method. And that's what Louie Simmons was about, and that's what his conjugate strength training method's about, is preventing muscular accommodation. And this is what Louie Simmons said about accommodation. Louie Simmons wrote, "There are 35 men who have totaled 2,400 or more at Westside. We have 25 members and 5 of them total over 2,400. They have accomplished this by not falling into the trap of accommodation. You must plan for specificity or whatever will raise a particular lift. It is seldom possible to do just the lift. I believe this is why powerlifters are the most successful of all weight sports. Just think for a minute how many special training devices powerlifters use for each lift. there must be 20 for each. And remember, powerlifting has 3 lifts: the bench press, the squat, and the deadlift. So if there was 20 devices for each lift, we're talking about 60 different exercise equipment items. So before you buy any home gym equipment, if you're following the conjugate strength training method, then you might want to know what Louie Simmons recommends. And this is what Louie Simmons recommends. Louie Simmons wrote from page 213 to 217 of his book, Westside Barbell Book of Methods, that a hardcore gym should have resistance bands, chains, weight releasers, a glute ham bench, a reverse hyper bench, a pulling sled, a safety squat bar, a buffalo bar, a McDonald cambered bar, gymnastic rings, so you could do push-ups and pull-ups from a variety of angles, which he says is will help build extra muscle, a power rack with pinholes every 2 inches on center, or 1 inch on center if possible, 2, 3, and 4 boards nailed together, so you can do partials, what they call board presses, heavy dumbbells, and if you bench press more than 600 pounds, which very few people can do, you would have to have heavy dumbbells up to 175 pounds. According to Louie Simmons, a ham glute bench, a landmine, and reverse hyper machines were essential for any hardcore powerlifting gym. If you're into strength training and you want to increase your bench or your deadlift or your squat, then learning what Louie Simmons advocated may help you in achieving that goal. I have 4 home gyms, and I own many of this equipment, but I don't have all this equipment. But it's caused me to rethink that maybe I should purchase some of this equipment. For instance, Elite FTS has a sale right now where they have board press devices, 2 boards, 3 boards, 4 boards, 5 boards, which can help me do board presses. And the cost is relatively cheap, at least to me it is, but I'm thinking seriously about buying them right now, because if you reach a plateau in muscular growth, endurance, and strength, then I strongly encourage you to check out Louie Simmons' Westside Barbell Conjugate Strength Training Method, because in my view, it is the best way to break through those plateaus. So if your muscles aren't growing, and the number of repetitions you can do for any particular exercise, whether it be pull-ups or push-ups or benching 225 as many reps as you can, or if the amount of weight that you can lift is not increasing, then you hit a plateau. And this is what Westside Barbell's forte was how to break through plateau, how to break records, how to overcome muscular accommodation. I'm a big fan of Louie Simmons, and it amazes me how many weightlifters in America don't know who Louie Simmons is, or about Westside Barbell, or the conjugate strength training method. And if you're not aware of the training method, then I encourage you to buy Louie Simmons' book, Westside Barbell Book of Methods, because it is a wealth of strength training tips on how to become stronger. That's all for now. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I create and upload more YouTube videos. And as always, thanks for watching. And there's my buddy Jiha, who wants to protect me, even though I don't need her protection.